Hey guys, remember me? It's your old pal Bayon. It has been well over a month since I've done one of these game guides, and you've unfortunately caught me at a time where I'm looking like Wolverine. It's for Halloween, trust me, I don't have some weird feline fetish. So unless you've been living under a rock in the past few years, I'm sure you've noticed the uprising in the zombie genre everywhere in all kinds of media outlets, but especially in video games. Point taken. And with each of those games being a clone of another, it's hard to break through in this genre. And try as hard as it might, this week's game, Dead Island Riptide, is honestly just a clone of Left 4 Dead. And this sequel doesn't stray too far from the first game's success. You play as one of the numerous characters on an infected island, and guess what? You have to survive and figure out how to stop the infection. Really? Sorry, I'm just being a bitch. Take a look at the game, it's not too bad.
Game of play.
Imagine Far Cry 3. Now picture zombies. Boom, there you go, review over. Sub, like, game on, blah blah blah. Wait, what do you mean that doesn't count as a review? People actually give a shit what this game was like? Dead Island Riptide, as said before, tackles the zombie genre in a way similar to Left 4 Dead. You are sent on missions around the island to do the most random shit, and each time you encounter a huge onslaught of the most fucked up zombies. I really like the different classes of undead because you handle each one differently and it provides a bit of a challenge. Depending on what character you choose, you specialize in certain fighting skills. For whatever reason, I thought choosing a melee character would be smart. Granted, his uppercut is tough as shit, but it became boring after a while, punching and kicking everything. My character stats weren't strong enough to do significant damage with another weapon, and I would prefer a custom character that you can distribute points to whatever trait without a predetermined advantage. But I can't always get what I want because fuck me. Like always, I thoroughly enjoyed the free roam environment, although at times it was terrifying. These fuckers.
Grafiaxa.
Dead Island Riptide isn't the Don Juan of the graphics department or anything, but for a game its size, the graphics pack a nice detailed punch. Zombie designs, as mentioned before, are about as intricate as they come, despite the repetitiveness of the few standard default zombies. Rendering of locations and characters happen fast enough to make everything run unfaltered and smooth. The graphics pay heavy attention to the weather. When it's sunny, you get a real bright tropical feel. However, when it's rainy, everything turns real swampy and you can feel the humidity. Characters pass as believable humans, although sometimes movement is jarred during gameplay and some detail is lost. Zombie prototypes are some of the most scarred, gnashed, and decrepit creations in the game. Zombies like the Floater are designed so disgustingly well you can feel the ooze come through your TV.
Sound.
The aspect that really sells this game in the sound department isn't what you would think. See, normally with horror games, a lot of emphasis is placed in the sounds of the environment, as well as adding terrifying screeches and gnarls to whatever threat exists. And while Dead Island Riptide does this, what really stood out to me was the game's soundtrack. It's so subtle, but what it does is it adds a layer of heightened emotion for when you're playing. Strong percussion along with the aggressive orchestral rhythms slowly builds the tension. While you're playing, you're subconsciously being stressed out by an unknown party, that which is audio. And as I've stressed so many times in the past, without good audio, the game suffers. Well, doubly so for horror games. Fortunately for Dead Island Riptide, the sounds of the game do not let down and they boost the experience for the player. Overall, Dead Island Riptide was alright, but nothing really different than the first game. After a while, it became so repetitive and boring. It's one of those games you have to play sporadically, otherwise you'll get sick of it real fast. But as far as the entire zombie genre goes, it's one of the better games out there, so I definitely recommend it. I give it 7.5 zombie roadkills out of 10. I am so damn sick of all these zombie games. My god, the whole phenomenon was dead years ago, and then came back to life like it was some kind of... Anyways, come back next week where I'll review some kind of video game. Who knows? Some kind of video game. Some kind. Make sure to subscribe for more video game reviews, let's plays, and also my friend the chef. He's going to be doing some comic reviews soon, hopefully. Come on, chef, get your shit together. Also, check out my podcast Unrendered, where my buddy the chef and I, we run through the top nerd news of the week, and also have a few celebrity guests on. Until next time, game on. Oh, and happy Halloween, I guess.